This is FanSpeak, a weekly live show where the fans of comics and its community are our guests. All right. Well, hello and good morning, everybody. Well, good evening for you, I guess. And welcome, of course, to FanSpeak. Really looking forward to a bunch of news stuff we got here today. And of course, we've got the chairman's address coming right up. Do keep in mind that we have all our links down below. We'd really appreciate you guys check those out, particularly FanSpeak on Facebook. But other than that, of course, hitting that share button is really appreciated because we are live streamers. I've been told this many times by my son. He says, "You're not a YouTuber, Dad." And I was like, "Okay, thanks." You know, but that's what you get from your sons. They're always helpful like that. But nevertheless, hello, Dinale. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing well today. Don't forget to hit that bell notification and hit all so you get notified every time we jump on stream. Or you can link us to your favorites as a bookmark with www.fanspeak.live. And when you click on that link, it'll directly hit you to any live shows we're on. It's an awesome ink. So I suggest, bookmarking it
That's
because
true.
we're
When it
consistent
works.
with time.
When it
Yeah.
works, right? But
Yeah.
I don't know. I noticed that because I can kind of track when the show puts itself up and not, because my iPad will pop up when it comes on or not, right?
Hmm.
And I would say we get a notification, at least to my iPad, about 40 to 50% of the time. So I don't know, but we do know that
That's
there's a
50% more time if you don't have it.
that's true. That is true. But we know that they do put some kind of I don't know, in line standing. How the more popular it gets, more notification. I don't understand why everyone just doesn't get notification. If you hit the bell, well, why don't you get the notification? I don't get what the point with that with YouTube is, but it is what it is. But definitely click that; it helps. And you know, we're going to get to the chairman's address momentarily, but I am kind of curious about one point of clarification I'd like to make. Booster was telling me the other day that this week's TFT is Reptoids. Is that true? I thought it was something
Oh,
else.
wow. Oh, George mentioned a different
He did.
a
What
different
what
TFT.
was it that we were supposed to do? Just refresh my addled brain, please.
I don't think we ever discussed it. I think we
Oh my.
finished. I think we talked it out, and then at the end of the last show, we didn't say
Hmm.
what it was. We said,
Well,
"Come back tomorrow
let's
for
do that
TFT."
now then. So,
All right.
what was George wanting to do?
Oh, was it the CIA?
It was. That's right. It was CIA. That's what we talked about. That is definitely true. I think we should do Reptoids one time. I think it'll be fun. But we keep dodging those direct things, I think. But no, no, it was CIA, and we did decide. Yes, yes, yes. We're doing the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
CIA tomorrow. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which
Because of
is
all the different conspiracy concepts that are thrown in behind them, right?
there are a lot,
Yeah.
especially when you juxtapose it next to what they actually do, which is nowhere near as interesting or exciting. But yeah, it's tomorrow's CIA on TFT. That'll be fun. All right, so let's jump into it here. I'm not sure if my thing is registering over. Do we have? Wow, we got a really small crew in here today. Definitely share that out, guys, if you can. We do appreciate you being in here, of course. But let's go ahead and start it off with the chairman's address.
It's interesting that we have a small crew here because I was planning on what to do with the chairman's address today, and I think there's going to be a few people that are going to come back and say I'm going to have to watch this because it's which is exactly the same thing that we have had happening through almost an entire year.
Mhm.
That's how long that we have been doing this at FanSpeak. It's creeping up upon us.
It
And
is.
not only have we been doing this long, but of course, the whole concept of the independent comics movement, which was spurred on by Comicsgate, which of course has moved us forward to where we are today. And I want to tell you something. It has been exciting. We have gone through nearly a year. I mean, I have surpassed the benchmark of me putting out backs on Indiegogo, right? I've gone back a year from that and I'm still going. And now you're starting to see so many extra things happening. It's becoming so exciting. It just, I mean, it gets exciting. It gets hot. It's crazy the things that are going on. You have, you have Indiegogo is happening. Kickstarters are now happening. Webtoon is now being used by some of these artists. These guys, you've got all of these. You've got FanSpeak going on. Insider Magazine on the web is happening. Anycom TV. It's just crazy, and I think it's just time to kick some things off. We have the time frame to now to go forward with independent comics, the renaissance that we have happening before us. It is a new and exciting time moving forward. Oh, I just can't say enough about it, but that is, of course, all I'm going to say. One of the fans saying, "Welcome to FanSpeak."
Well, thank you very much, and I'm sure the ladies are happy. Uh, I get the idea. The nice Spider-Man shirt, by the way. Uh, I like this. I
Thank
like the
you.
suit, though. I do like the suit. But nevertheless, thank you very much, Wolf. And of course, today we don't actually have a guest lined up for today, so we're going to do more of a news show as usual. But that's okay. We got a lot of things to do. We got a bunch of trailers to get through too. So I certainly hope I can do it in such a way that we don't get any. Copyright strikes as we tend to get. But Joshua Hughes is in here. He says, Nasser live with Tim Lim. He must be trying to steal FanSpeak's viewers and guests, or he's just doing his thing, dude. It's all right. Um,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
the thing is we've always been very consistent. We're always on time. Pretty much everybody else in the community just goes on whenever. And I think it's anywhere between 6 p.m. and 12 p.m. I mean, or 12 a.m. Sorry, is kind of when they do their thing, and they'll come on whatever. In the long run, I think it'll benefit us because we're not even a year in. As DeWolf had just told you, we're going to be coming out on September 7th. In the long run, it'll be fine. And I like Nasser. I hope he has a great show with Tim. Tim's a good guy too. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
you know
Oh, Mitch as well. You got Brightweiser. Of course, he's back, putting out some
he is.
great things. Boy, I tell you what, I'm just still excited from
No,
the chairman's address. This whole independent comic movement is just
it's
this
awesome.
revolution that's happening is amazing. But yeah, Brightweiser, he's out there posting YouTubes and Twitter things about what he's doing,
Mhm.
editing, moving forward, and that's great to see.
Yeah, and I just got a tweet from Benny yesterday, or today actually, or well, early in the morning, and they got the new White Widow coming out, and he was sending me information on it. So I think we might have Benny and Jamie Tyndall back on here, talking about the new book sometime in the future, here near future, I'd say. So that'd be
Well,
cool.
the new book.
The new one, yeah, they come out. They're moving forward with a new one. It
Issue
looks like
3.
issue 3.
Yeah.
Oh, number
Yeah,
3. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Because I got my issues 1 and 2. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I like talking to Benny. I like Benny. He's a excitable guy. He's very interested in what's going on. He's definitely part of the indie revival. He's doing a ton of stuff. I mean, I have a workload, but that guy's workload must be ridiculous, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I like Benny. So looking forward to talking to them, and of course, getting Jamie in again. We've had Benny on without him, but we definitely like to talk to Jamie again as well. But we have things coming forward in the future. Lots of Indiegogo stuff and Kickstarter stuff. Indie Revival Books. We'll be talking to those creators, and we do have some lined up. Of course, we always do. And I just love it, man. I agree with you 100%. This is a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. And one thing I've noticed, and Booster, tried to have a serious moment with Booster the other day. Of course, I don't think he's capable of such things, but and I said that I had noticed that the Indiegogo stuff I'm seeing, the production quality and the art quality is going up. I feel it's getting better and better. Do you guys agree or disagree?
No, I mean, I think it's a realization with a lot of creators that they have to put their A game and foot and best impression moving forward. I think
Yeah,
a lot of complaints and a lot of feedback that was brought into the community was, hey, if we're spending so much money on, fulfilling your dream, your quality needs to be bumped up a little bit.
that's right.
Um, but then it also could be attributed that, these guys had the talents and didn't know how to show their work, and now they do know an outlet for giving their work. So that's another thing right there.
That's true. Yeah, there's been a lot of information shared in the community about how to do this and how to do that, right? So
Hmm.
I think that's very good. That's very much true. What do you think, Dwolf?
You mean the fact that the independent comics that are seeing have quality increasing?
Yes. Yeah.
Was that? I had to make sure I was still tracking you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And it's not just because independent comics have been around for a while now. I mean,
Hmm.
they've been not only have they been around, period, because I was reading Gold Digger back in the '90s, and of course they now have joined up with, is it Atlantic or one of the other comic publishers,
Hmm.
but now, of course, independent comics have gone way independent, as far as this crowdfunding and getting stuff out there on the web, and being able to hit a mass audience. Because people were creating with black and whites once again. Like Gold Digger was black and white and
Yeah.
being printed. I guess local. It was locally. It was local to me there in San Antonio, Texas, and so, but now it's a new. Well, we keep talking about that. It's a new type of thing that's going on now with all the internet buzz, and of course, Comicsgate stirred up a whole hornet's nest, and so the independent guys that were already there. I think Niobe was already one of those that
Hmm.
had a book or two already out.
Like
We
Tim Lin.
had
Yeah.
we had also Lady Death, of course,
Yeah.
has been going
That's
on
true.
for years. So this has just brought more of it to light, and more of us are now backing it. More of us are in here, and what has happened is even the guys that came out of the industry themselves, who generally carry that label of Comicsgate, they've even put stuff out and said, okay, we need to make sure that we're doing our best, because the critical nature, and of course what we have also seen is the competitiveness,
Mm.
right? You all of a sudden you do see more of these. You see everybody coming out with a T-Bird and Throttle.
Oh, dude, great
Um, uh,
book and delivered
yes,
on time.
yes, great. Yeah, delivered on time. Great story. Great, interesting artwork and great story. And that's the thing too. We've seen great artwork, but what have we always said? That gets us to buy the book. The
Yep.
story gets us to buy the second and consecutive books. And I think you're going to start seeing more of that happening, more concepts of the story themselves, and a streamlining of writers, artists, and people
Sure.
coming together. And you're going to start finding out that you know certain names and you like certain names, right? We brought up,
Yep.
Tim Lim already, right?
Mhm.
And some of these other guys, I think their names are going to keep filtering up, just like when you talk about Kirby and Stan Lee and the like.
Well, hopefully in the end, right? But now Von Klaus is certainly starting to make a name for himself. He's doing great stuff, and yeah, the T Burn and Throttle guys, I'll definitely buy another one of those books. That is a great book, wonderful production value, great story. That's a really good book. It's probably the I don't know, maybe it's the best one I've gotten so far. But yeah, no, it's really cool. I'm happy to see all these things, and like Denali had mentioned, there's so much information that's been given out in the community for free. We're just kind of helping each other. That people now putting together really good Indiegogo Kickstarter pages, which of course helps you sell it. We've seen a move away from the black and white to the color as it needs to be done. We see the increase of up to 80 to 120 pages, which it really needs to be done because you're asking people to spend 25, $30 for your book, but then at the same time, there's people from all over the world, and if it's outside of America, even into Canada, you're spending like $20 just to get it shipped to Canada, for goodness sake. But if you've got an 80, 100-page book, well, that makes me much more happy to spend my money on that. I'm willing to do that, right? Spend that $50 for that big book, I'll do it. Yeah, I think it's really great what's going on, and I think we probably need to one of these shows. I think we should try to produce something where we take a look at all the books that came out. Maybe we'll do that for our 1 year anniversary. We'll take a look at all the books that came out during our time here on YouTube, and have a discussion about how they did. What do you guys think about doing that?
Oh yeah. That would truly be fans speaking out about independent
Yeah,
comics, huh?
it would be, and we got a
Yeah.
resource too. We just go to Pixel, and he's got a complete list of all everything.
Oh, that's true.
It is true.
That's true.
And between the three of us, I think we've backed most of the books. I mean, Dinale holds the belt, but I think we backed most everything. But we'll get a hold of Pixel. I think we should do that. I think it'll be fun. Anyway, enough chitter chatter. Let's go over and get into the news, I guess.
All right.
Scott,
Wait,
yeah, go ahead,
that's not
Denali.
enough chatter. as we
Well, I
as
was
we
gonna
as we as we talk about this though, I want to go ahead and put out in the chat the link that you can go to for Webtoon,
Oh yeah.
and one of those icons available is going to be Cosmonaut, and if you click on that, that's going to take you to Dillard draws his Cosmonaut, and of course things here at Webtoon are episodic, and so it's like 11 panels. And what they're doing now, you got a couple of guys that are doing this. They're
Mhm.
going and they're using Webtoon, and you can go there. There's an app for your phone. Out, they're absolutely free, and it works like YouTube. So you watch these for free. They become popular. They put ads on them, and then the guys make money just from you clicking, right?
Yeah, it's free.
So
Yeah.
and then of course you build a fan base, and then after they have their fan base, they'll put a book out. You already know their work. You back their book, et cetera, et cetera. There's just more and more things. Indicom TV is of course moving forward. They've got. You were talking about helping each other out. Well,
Yeah.
you've got the co-op of Indicom TV has these artists, and they got other creators and some a few writers in there that are helping out doing videos, and also talking behind the scenes on how do we do things, how do we move forward together, how do we move forward with my own book, what do you guys think I should do? And it's just supportive amongst all the creators, and it's
Mhm.
nice to see that happening versus some of the drama type stuff we've seen over the past year.
Yeah. Well, I got a show on Indicom TV in about 12 hours, actually. Uh,
Yes,
so
you
uh,
do.
yeah, and but the one thing about Indicom TV, I think that the Wolf hit on there, I think is pretty cool, is it's a lot more the creator base. Now we have a lot of creators come over here too, but that over there is about the creators helping each other. That's the whole point. Whereas for us, it's about covering what the creators are doing, right?
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the real principle. But definitely support what they're doing. There's a lot of people involved. That crew has grown quite large, and it's really nice. And several of us here on FanSpeak are part of it as well. So it's a lot of fun. Definitely check that out. But definitely check out the webtoons too, because that is free. That costs you nothing to go check that out and to support some of the people in the community. Just go check them out, and if you like it, give them a like. I guess that's how it works. But yeah, I think it's great, and some of these guys maybe can find a little bit of money in the ad revenue over there because it works a little bit like YouTube. And I'm not sure what are their community restrictions as far as things go. Do they simply have a like a rating system, like G, PG, R, or something like that? Do they do like that?
There's I do know there's all the categories. There's sci-fi, and of course Dillard put his in slice of life, but he could have put it in sci-fi, I guess. But of course he's trying to create a particular market that he's trying to shoot for.
Hmm.
Even though it's pretty expansive. I mean, I was more interested. Another guy at work that I showed it to, he was interested as well. And as far as that goes, I don't know if they are restrictive. I'm just learning about it myself.
Yeah, no, me too. But yeah, it's really cool though. I think it's a lot of fun. Hey, George, how you doing, dude? George, George.
He's muted,
Yeah, I know
so
he's
Greetings,
muted.
greetings, everybody.
Hi. Actually, George, we were sitting here talking a little bit about webtoons and how John Diller's put stuff over there, and some other guys doing it too. You ever thought about throwing Joe King up there, or
Um,
some facsimile of it?
I did that back in 89, 90, 2001.
Well, sure, but
I'm
it's
no,
still going
it's
on.
I know, I know. Joe King is a webtoon.
I
I
see.
mean, there's a lot of gags uh, that were developed over the years as newspaper strips, as newspaper cartoons,
Yeah, no, it
and
is a different format. That is true. Yeah,
yeah, it is, and but it's it lost the appeal for me. I
I
mean,
see.
it's still fun and exciting, but there's a there no one's really talking about this. I mean, I've heard you guys talk about webtoons and all that stuff. No one's talking about the discipline regarding webtoons. You have to be consistent.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, if you're going to be putting this out,
Yep.
and you say you're going to be putting out one a day, it's going to come to bite you if you don't, because there's a lot of discipline in putting, was it
Mhm.
2 or 3 panels or
True.
4 panels, and that has to be a complete gag,
Mhm. You mean
whether
kind
it's
of
a
like
story or whether it's a story or humor
yeah.
or whatever.
You mean kind of like doing a
There's a lot
YouTube
of
channel
discipline.
and being every day at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? You mean like that kind of discipline?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, I get it.
But look at the effort that's going on to keep you consistent. You
That's
have
true.
Dinale here, always constantly haggling you. You got the Wolf and I constantly attacking you with the dad
That's
jokes,
right. That's true.
and,
That's
and you
true.
ha- and but you have that support too.
I do.
I
Oh
mean,
no, that's
some days you don't have any material at all, and you just sit here and talk, talk off of us. Throw shades here or
sure.
starlight there.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a lot of discipline.
It is, but it's a lot of fun too, though. I mean, we're definitely get stuff out of it. But we have a good team, and that was the principle from the beginning as well. George was a fan speak. It was a team thing. This is not a me thing, and it's never been. And there's no reason for it to be. We have a lot of fun, and a lot of guys do the me thing quite well, and have a lot of fun with it. But I think the format we have here is really good. I enjoy it a lot. But we definitely need to go over and start talking about some of the news, though. So I'm going to go over
Yeah.
and do that now. And I have shared it, so let me come over and Denali.
From CBR.com. The Eternal, first look at the costumes revealed. Bad headline, CBR. But in
Yeah,
D23 yesterday, they showed off the costumes. Oh, man. Of it. I mean, you can click on the, if it doesn't pop up, just click on the links to the Twitter thing. It'll pop up the thing. But there you
okay,
go.
so all right, we have them each standing in front of their character. All right, all right. So I don't know really any of these people. I kind of thought this guy would lose a little bit of weight, but it doesn't look like he did.
No, they're
Although they
just
got
going to
him slimmed
CG.
up, huh?
Yeah.
They CG'd
They're
it
just,
up, yeah.
yeah.
They got one of every color. They did a good job with that. Really good job with that. And they don't need one of every color. But I always thought having the Eternals representing kind of some distant initial inception maybe of cultures from around the world would be a cool idea, actually. So it depends on how they go with it, but that could be fun. No comment. All right, fine.
This is phase
I
4. Phase 4.
Yes, I know. Just trying to. I'm doing DeWolf's job. I'm being positive.
it
Oh, okay.
oh my goodness, and here I am thinking this looks humdrum.
It does look
I
humdrum. It does.
This looks like a
It
CW
really does.
costume.
I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, it looks like CW. You're right. I thought maybe it
yeah.
was Titans something another
No,
or
no,
something.
no.
And
It's just a step above Titans, but I thought this was a CW stuff. It's like, wow, CW is really stepping up to production until I realized it's, wait, this is the Eternal. Wait, this is the Eternal. Oh
do
boy.
you get the thing about is that Ezra Miller? The thing about the
Thank you so much, everybody.
you had each one of them in their own movie.
Hmm.
You had character being developed, and then they came together. Here, you're going to introduce them all, and I don't see how you're going to get a lot of depth in the characters that I am going to be interested and following them through, like I was the original cast
Mm.
that we had.
That looks a lot like Ezra Miller, dude. And this, some of them, I hate that when they do this, dude. Often with the black ladies in particular, they'll lighten them up so much in the poster, and it's like, what are you doing? Don't do that. We see news programs do this all the time too. Just let them be what they are. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with her skin tone. She's a good-looking girl. Let it be.
Yep. Yep.
I hate this when they do this, dude.
That's an artist. That's a poor rendition of the artist. He just is not a professional. He doesn't know how to use and develop really good visuals around
Mm.
a very dark person, a
Well,
dark complexion person.
well, we see it a lot though, George, and they do it intentionally, sometimes insidiously, dude. Right? And I really don't like that. There's
Oh
nothing
yeah,
wrong.
oh yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
And something interesting, if everyone here and there, elsewhere, whenever you have a chance and you see a fine young black actor, male or female,
Mhm.
or unicorn, whatever, um, on screen, just go Google their name and see what their complexion is just in everyday life. You'll see there's a complete there's a difference.
There
There's
is.
a substantial difference.
They do
Mm.
with the Latins as well, dude.
So,
I don't like it.
so this first look at costumes, though, something that we had in the originals was this idea that the costume was either created for some assassin types, people that were in Shield, right? That'd be Hawkeye, Black Widow. Then you have, of course, Cap, and his of course costume came out of what he was doing, selling war bonds mixed
Mm.
with just the leather jacket concept and the helmet, and then he just pushed that forward because who's gonna tell him he can't? He's a super soldier. Thor, of course, brought with him from his world that type of look. Each one of these characters had something that there was a kind of a reason and a almost utilitarian concept in the beginning that started with their costume, and it grounded it for us, and I liked it. I thought it gave it some reason.
Mm.
With this now, and then even with Guardians of the Galaxy, right? I mean, Peter Quill is just he's just kind of cool. His costume isn't a costume; it's what he just wears. The same thing
Yeah.
goes with Thanos' daughters. Groot, of course, Groot is. I mean, it's kind of his little jumpsuity thing, I guess, and designed with all the gadgets that he has. It's just what they was wearing. Here you have an idea that they're now drawing up costumes that are made specifically for being in outer space, being otherworldly, and that it's a harder. I think it's a harder sell right off the bat because it
Mm.
doesn't have that just kind of a good solid reason to exist. It has to be something that's made up and that they're wearing on purpose, even though they're from space. And um, I don't know. Good luck. I hope it turns out well. Of course, I want the Eternals to kind of take over where either Guardians or the Avengers leave off, and we can only hope.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Well,
think I think what you're talking about is the Superman, Man of Steel. That's with what's his name? That just came out. The last two Superman movies and the Justice League movies. They tried to do that with the Superman costume to make it look
Oh,
alien.
right, right, right.
Oh,
Yeah,
they changed it.
Henry
Yeah.
yeah,
Cavill.
they did
Yeah.
change it. It's more a Jim Lee style costume for sure. I don't know. I didn't mind it though. I thought it looked fine. And it wasn't supposed to be some big super armor that dodges bullets or anything like that. It was just a uniform, but I thought it looked good. I liked it. One thing I do like, came back over here to this picture to take a look at the costumes again since DeWolf was talking about it, and just kind of going through them. There is kind of a consistent theme, but then a couple of them don't fit the theme. But I one thing that's popping out to me though is this little girl who's they have up here in the green with the red hair. It's nice to see a
Uh huh.
redhead survive. But
Finally.
Who is she playing again? I mean, I know this character and I can't think of it off the top of my head. Denali.
Um, it was that
It's like a
was
pixie
it? Sprite?
character,
Yeah. Um,
Sprite or something like that.
something like
yeah, I think
that.
it's
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I
I
think
think it's Sprite.
she looks good for the casting. I don't know if she can act because Joe over here makes a pretty good point. This looks about as good
Yeah,
as
it's
Marvel's
Sprite.
Inhumans, which means not good at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Well, it's
hopefully,
shiny.
boy, hopefully it's not that bad. What was that,
You know,
Denelli?
It is Sprite.
It is Sprite. Oh, thank you.
Sprite. Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
There's a shiny, shimmering, otherworldly feel, and swoopy. I'm gonna go with the word swoopy. Even the guys have this long thing going on, you know. And I'm not gonna say angelic, but maybe ethereal, kind of a elven. How about that?
Elvin.
Like
Yeah,
if I was high elves, if this was Rivendell, I could imagine walking in and seeing some people wearing this stuff.
yeah, yeah. That's a good point. Another thing that's interesting, if you look at them on stage, and this is a slightly off perspective, but you see that their heights are all over the place, of course, obviously. But if you look at the posters up top, I mean, they drop down the Sprite Girl a little bit in height, but everyone's like exactly the same height. And it's kind of funny
No,
because you see the dude standing next to the girl, and she's little, she's teeny thing. She's not much taller than the Sprite actress, but it's interesting. But I don't know. What do you think, Danelia? Do you like the costumes?
No, not really. I mean, it's kind of plastic.
It
I feel
is,
like
yeah.
this is like I think this is just a mock up that they needed to show something, and he said it's good enough for the expo. We'll fix it in down the line, kind
Mhm.
of deal.
But they get an equal number of men and women. They have one of every color, so they've checked those boxes. So
Yeah,
hopefully, the actual entertainment and the acting will be just about the Eternals, and it won't have a bunch of uh, politics involved. Of course, we know that's not going to happen because they've already been talking about politics the whole damn time they've been talking about the Eternals. So
yeah.
not much hope
You
there,
you
dude.
know, something interesting about what I see here, and something about Jack Kirby when he designed these characters a long time ago. One thing that's consistent uh, right now today is shape and size. Pixar does it really well when they actually create their characters.
Hmm.
Everyone has a dramatic difference in shape and size, so that way you have an instant you're instantly able to recognize the characters, and not only because of their unique, colorful costumes, but also the shape and size. So hey, that's the Thing from the Fantastic Four. Oh,
Right.
that's the Hulk. No, that's Captain America. They don't have anything like that. I mean,
No,
when
you're
you look
right.
at the Avengers,
You're right.
you knew the shape and size of Thor, Captain America,
Sure.
Iron Man,
Now, see
instantly.
that Sprite Girl,
There's
I
nothing
will
here. There's
remember
nothing
though.
here.
I will remember the Sprite Girl because she stands out from the rest, right? Her look. But you're right, it is so generic, and there's not really much to be memorable about, but you never know. Maybe someone will put on a really good performance and we'll remember their face. But yeah, I think you're right. There's danger of that happening. And of course, Justin here says, agreed about lightening up with black women. This happens all in all kinds of cultural products. Yeah, I don't know why they do that, dude. Just let them be what they are. It's okay. It almost seems a bit racist. I mean, actually, I mean, what's wrong with her skin color? You had to lighten her color. Why? Right? I don't get it, but it is what it is. Well, let's move on now. Now, DeWolf was talking about something. I was going to click sooner, but I'll go over now because he was talking about those characters, and this I think is kind of interesting. Now, this image that's showing here in the video, of course, is not what we're talking about. We are going to get to that in a minute, though. But
Right.
Denali, go ahead.
So this is from comicbook.com. Anthony Mackie confirms he won't be the new Captain America in the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show.
Uh,
So that doesn't mean he won't be Captain America after the TV show. I'm pretty sure this is him coming to grips of, should I take the mantle and then finally becoming Captain America, kind
Probably.
of to ease the fans into the idea that he's the new Captain America.
Mhm. Well, out of all the gender swaps and race swaps and stuff that Marvel's been doing over the past 3 years, that's one that didn't bother me much because I used to read Captain America all the time in the 70s and 80s, and having Cap down and having the Falcon take over the mantle makes perfect sense. It's completely logical. The only problem with it was when they did this switch in Marvel Comics and made Falcon Captain America was how they told the story because he was all about getting them white people, getting those survivalists or whatever they call them, those people that militia types, whatever. But that's the problem. It was just hate. It was way too political and was hating on stuff, and it's not what Captain America or Falcon is about. And that was one that really bugged me because I thought that, hey, that's a smart choice. If that's really what you need to do, having Falcon as Captain America is perfectly sensical, right?
Right. And I think Disney is already doing the same mistake, is that they are changing everything so much that people don't are not invested in continuing on. If they start slowly integrating the new characters while the old characters left, I think that it would be a more organic transition to the new characters than this abruptness where most of them are gone. Thor is going to be changed to Lady Thor. You got the She-Hulk. We think it's going to be, Bruce Banner's cousin who's going to turn into the She-Hulk, but you never know. It might be Bruce Banner transitioning into She-Hulk because of
No,
his
they wouldn't
experiments.
go that far. They wouldn't go that far,
You never
dude.
know. You
Uh,
never know.
but unfortunately, the point you made, I think, is a really good one because, hey,
Mhm.
Thunder, what's up? Because the way they set it up, the way they built this up with throughout the series, actually, it would have made a lot more sense to give the shield to Bucky the way
Right,
they did it. You know what I mean? It makes some kind of sense to giving it to Falcon, but at that moment it would have been something you handed over to Bucky because of the story they told, and it didn't make sense them giving it to him because Bucky is his boy. And I mean, they've been through so much. I mean, goodness. I mean, Steve put everything on the line for Bucky. Of course,
right,
he is going to be the new Captain America. But so that was a weird thing they did there for sure.
right. And I think that's the same argument that people in the comic books had as well. That it's like, why are you making Falcon when it makes more sense to just
Mhm.
keep Bucky as the Captain America because he earned it. Same thing
True.
with the movies.
But if you look back at the team up with Captain America and Falcon throughout the entirety of the 80s, dude, 70s, 80s, yeah, I didn't mind it. But speaking
Yeah.
of what you were talking about, let's jump over to that and talk about it because here we have an article exactly about that, dude. Go ahead.
Right. So in the D23 Expo, Marvel announces She-Hulk, Moon Knight, and Miss Marvel for Disney Plus streaming.
Hmm.
So everything that we've talked about, that we kind of figured was going to come in, they have finally confirmed that those shows are going to come. Um, my only concern is how bad is it going to be?
Or how good it's going to be. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
I would love to see these. And if they go with the original Kamala Khan, the original one that came out, that was a good book. That started off great, dude. They just ruined it with their
Right.
silly politics. That was a great start to a new hero, actually, and they've really screwed it up. I don't know what they'll do with that. It'll probably be their progressive politics center. I'm sure it will be, unfortunately. But She-Hulk,
Well,
man, I'd love to have She-Hulk, dude. Moon Knight, are you kidding me? Please.
Well, let's look at it technically. Moon Knight is just another Batman in a white costume, and he's
Oh,
got
how
his
dare you! I swear to God, I'll slap you across
multiple,
the entire
multiple
ocean, dude. I'll
personalities.
do it. I will do it.
Multiple personalities. Okay, now
I don't
She-Hulk
care. You're in Canada.
is interesting. You know what? I will gladly meet you halfway, somewhere in China, right around the riots.
Yeah, right
Somewhere in
around the
China.
San Andreas Fault, baby. That's what the
That's
showdown will
right.
be.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. She-Hulk is basically Ally McBeal with powers.
true. That's true. Yeah,
I mean, it's not really hard. I mean, everyone's rejoicing that the Obi-Wan series is happening with Ewan McGregor, but if you really think about it, it was going to happen regardless. Why? Because it's very simple. The Mandalorian and Obi-Wan have the same environments.
Hmm.
So it technically they're producing two shows without putting a lot of effort into the backgrounds
Right.
and the environments because they're already creating a world that will be synergistically used between two shows. If you
Yeah.
look at the technical aspect of production, you'll start to understand there's a pattern to the madness that Disney's doing.
Well, speaking of that, I'm going to come back to this article because with that, that's a perfect cue for us to go watch the Mandalorian trailer. Because baby,
Mm.
strap in, man. And Comic Book Bob says just don't like Max Bemis anywhere near Moon Knight. I couldn't agree more, sir. But no, let's go watch this Moon Knight, not Moon Knight. That would be awesome. The Mandalorian trailer, and pray that we don't get a copyright strike, but we probably will. Oh well, this looks awesome. I mean,
Well,
just to
just make
one.
sure to pause
I am.
frequently.
I got it. Just keep in
Yeah.
mind that the dude who is playing the Mandalorian has been in several things. We've seen him in several shows and movies. He's a really solid actor, and he seems really enthusiastic about doing this role. And he's basing the Mandalorian character on Clint Eastwood, 100%. He's a big fan, and
Yeah, because he's done a lot of cowboy type of like
yeah.
the outlaw Josie Wells is almost a Mandalorian, right?
That's right. Well, and also a lot of the spaghetti western stuff he did as well. So just keep that in mind. Let's watch this here.
So look at
Oh,
that.
Helmets
There-
on pikes.
And a blood on there. We'll see if it'll stay when the show actually appears.
I hope so.
Well, remember the trailer for Rogue One? They had those prisoners and then they changed it afterwards.
Right, that's true. Oh, look who's
Carl
back,
Weathers.
baby. This looks beautiful. $10 million an episode, by the way.
Okay, hold on. Stop it.
Oh, baby.
That shot of the broken dirt that was just a few seconds back and the little ship going, that looked like it could have been sketched out and colorized by Ralph McQuarrie.
Yeah.
That goes back to the same type of feeling that the original Star Wars had, and I think that's what we're seeing here. That's why I'm excited by this. It feels like a little bit more like the original Star Wars.
Even maybe a grittier version of it, and it feels like a grittier version done right. It feels that way. I'm really hoping this is a good show because, you know, I understand everyone just saying, "Nah, that's enough," and they're done with Star Wars. I get it. My wife is certainly that way, and I feel that way kind of. But I really want to have a cool Star Wars, man. I really want
Yeah.
it. And oh goodness, this trailer looks so great. I wish I could just play it and just shut up, but I can't because freaking YouTube. But yeah, let's continue. This is really badass, dude.
Oh, I didn't like that spot.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be one of the minor bosses later in the series when he's being hunted down.
It's a good trailer though. It picks up. It just builds and builds. It's beautiful.
Right.
I
Well,
think that was Wookiee box. Oh, what ID88?
no, it's
Bounty
same
hunting
model
is
but
a
different one.
complicated profession.
You know what's
Yeah,
crazy
yeah,
about
88
you know what's crazy about this? We're all looking at the nostalgia of characters like Han Solo and all that stuff.
Dude.
Does anyone remember Dash Rendar? I mean, Shadows of the
Yes.
Empire.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, there is your brand new Han Solo. Just do Dash Rendar, man. Do that story.
Hey,
I agree.
hit play.
They
No, I
they
will.
wouldn't do that because
Don't
that's
easily
part of
mix
the
up.
legends.
Now pause it.
Still breathing.
Still, that's good, man. We're just watching the Mandalorian trailer. Did you check that out earlier?
No, I've seen it, but yeah, I've been here for a while.
Oh, you have? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not on that side. I'm on the other side. You can just,
That's
pipe
all
in.
right. I don't expect you to. I'll jump in when I need to.
I see. Yeah, but I don't know. I see the chat. I get it. I understand. No, never. It's like never Trump has turned into never Disney. I get it. But damn, you cannot say that is not a badass trailer, dude. Wow. I mean, Disney has not felt cool to me in a long time, dude. That looks cool.
Yeah, what we're seeing here, and for me, is we have a guy who's actually an action packed. He's doing things that seems appropriate for his character. That's what that's what we have said for a long time. We want to see things appropriate for the character, and we've not been seeing that. We see characters that we know and love doing inappropriate things.
Hmm.
We've got, of course, not like Booster would think. Then we've got new characters who aren't fitting into the genre. Here we've got a whole bunch of characters who are mostly fitting in. I didn't like the Twi'lek. And you know what? You said the actor doing this is such and such, and
He's a good actor.
through the trailer, I
Yeah,
didn't see
Pedro.
who the actor was. Leave his helmet on most of the time.
Hmm.
I don't want to know who this guy is. I just want to see him. Like we've seen lots of anime where you go through, and then Judge Dredd. You never,
Oh, that
he
was
doesn't never
great.
take his helmet off, right? You
Good on
you
him,
should
yeah.
you should give us mystery, and this looks a lot like Rogue One. Rogue One was one of the better ones that came out recently. That it actually had some nostalgia behind it. It tried to just enhance the story. It didn't try to change things so much. I mean, there's a little bit in there, but at least it was still good. And I think if they do The Mandalorian the same way, and this is a series, this is not a movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Uh,
could be
Hmm.
so
speaking
good.
of Twi'leks, the day that Disney has the balls enough to do Darth Talon, then maybe I'll take notice.
Yeah. Well, they also someone else here also mentioned the Johto cast as well. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I get you. But it feels grittier. It feels darker. I'd like to see them go that way. But there's a lot here in the chat. I got to catch up. I got to catch up with. We
Right.
have
Well, you also have to remember all of this footage is the first episode.
probably.
So
Yeah,
we
that's
don't, we
true.
don't know what the they might blow everything in the first episode to get everybody hooked, because one of the things they said about the Mandalorians, they're not going to binge it like Netflix. You're going to have to wait each week for the next episode.
Hmm.
Oh, that's great. That's
Oh yeah,
fantastic.
yeah, yeah.
Because that's a problem with Netflix is that they put out a show and it only survives in the mind's eye to the audience
Hmm.
a couple of weeks and it's gone.
Well,
I
let
mean,
me.
you have shows like Orange is the New Black. That's 13 episodes, or any of the Marvel shows, right? Well, that's if you put it out once a week, that's 13 weeks of in your mind's eye. You're actually preparing and training your
Yeah,
audience to
like it used to be.
have
Yeah.
memory. Yeah.
Yeah. But let me catch up with the
What?
chat though. Let me catch up to the chat and to answer a couple questions just offhand. It is $10 million an episode, so that's expensive. That's a lot of money. So hopefully it'll be well spent. Comic Book Bob says Apollo. Yes, we do have Carl Weathers in there. It's nice. Also Gina Carano, who's an MMA fighter, of course. Thundera is very much against it, which I get. Joe says the three words: "It's a trap." Yes, I understand. Comic Bob says, Chester, that's the thing I don't think SJWs understand. We don't want the things we love to fail. We get nothing from their failure. It's true, dude. It's very, very true. I want Star Wars to be awesome. I don't want it to suck.
So
Yeah.
is this is all these adventures set before
Um,
New Hope, or is this
no,
does he escape the Sarlacc?
this is no,
It's
he's
not.
not Boba Fett. No, this is set between the end of
It's
Return of the Jedi
it's 5 years.
and
It's 5 years after
yeah, 5 years
Return of
and
the Jedi.
before Force Awakens. Yeah, it's set in
Yeah.
between.
Okay,
Yeah, because they
so
have that black looking armor.
okay, then can you school me right here? I
Yeah.
need to know who this character is because he looks really a lot like he looks a lot like Boba Fett.
Well,
It is. Come on.
it does look a lot like Boba Fett, but
They're
let
going to
me
pull up.
explain. The Mandalorians are a group of people. There's a lot of stories built around them. They're kind of were a big threat way before, kind of old Republic type of threat. They have their own society. It's very mercurial, And actually, Boba Fett was not a Mandalorian. He actually stole someone Mandalorian's armor. So Boba Fett was not actually connected to Mandalorians, but the Mandalorians are a people. Like I said, they're very mercurial. They also tend to be mercenaries and stuff like that. So it's that kind of society, and it's that kind of character. I get it looks like Boba Fett. It's fair because it is the same armor.
So
Okay,
what we're
now I
afraid
know.
of is that they're going to show us what looks really cool, and this is what you guys are basically. Denali said it, and
Yeah.
Thundaro has said this kind of. We're going to see something that's really cool, and then come episode 3, all of a sudden he's going to take his helmet off, and then he's going to sit down and go, "I'm just tired of being alone all the time."
Oh no,
And
that would
Or
suck, dude.
people, you're right. He's just going to go off.
He said he's
Oh,
basing it on Clint Eastwood though, dude. And Clint Eastwood would never do that.
Right. But
Right.
here's the thing: the first episode is him saving a little girl, like you said, outlaw Josie Will.
Yeah,
Is that
Josie Wales.
is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
Yeah,
the
Outlaw
one?
yeah.
Josie
Yeah.
Wells. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, what if he survives long enough for the second episode and the girl is the Mandalorian? Because it doesn't mean that because you don't see his mask, she takes up the armor. Now she's the Mandalorian. Boom.
I get that, but I don't think so because I've read some interviews from the dude. I can't remember his name, but I like
Mhm.
the actor. I've seen some interviews for him from him. He's very excited about doing this. He's putting a lot of thinking and effort into creating the character. I don't think he would put that much effort into something which just going to be 3 episodes and then gone. I really think he this is who it is. It's him, right? Because we
Right.
understand that there's a politic and they have to have one of every color. They got to have all this stuff. We get that. And of course, Gina is representing the female and she's an actual fighter. So it might be good. But he does click a box where he is a minority because he is some manner of Latin or Hispanic. I don't know
And
exactly. He looks
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal. He looks more Spanish than he does Mexican, to be honest with you. But he does click that box, and for them, because I could care less. But I like the dude. I've seen him in several things, and I like him. He's a good, solid actor, and I like his thinking too, dude. So I don't know.
Well, I
It
I would have
doesn't
to look
mean
him up,
again
but
who's in charge is still Kathleen Kennedy
True.
or her
No,
successor.
you're right. It is.
Um, and you know, it doesn't. Again, you may hope for the best, but remember what I said about Captain Marvel at the beginning. You were saying no, Kevin Feige wouldn't do it, and then, well, we're here. Here we are. Just want to point that out.
It's
Just want
true.
to point that out.
I was actually thinking of that because here's the thing: do so badly to have something that is good, and yet at the same time, the chat's saying it, and we're kind of saying it. We're holding on to our opinions, and they are generally we just constantly keep saying we're afraid they're going to ruin this. This is going to be bad, and I
Mm,
don't want to be that way anymore. I
no.
want I want to see something like this. I want to get excited and I want to have fun with it.
Yeah.
And yet, when Marvel came around, there I was. I kept holding on, and I almost took it to the extreme just for the show. But when it did come out, it was terrible. And of course, Quasar had to wear the black band on his arm for a while, and it was just it was bad. And
Yeah.
hopefully, this doesn't do that.
Well, and like I said, I jumped over to this from this one, which brings us back to this conversation. Now, because if they're putting out that level of production and that much money into each episode to try to save Star Wars, because that's what they're trying to do, and they're trying to save it with that. Um, we know they're not going to put that kind of money behind these 3 series that are coming out. They won't. But still, if they put some really solid production value behind Moon Knight and put a good cast in there, it could be spectacular.
Yeah, and She-Hulk.
She-Hulk too. Yeah, I know. I
I don't
know.
know.
I'd love to see
I'm,
She-Hulk, dude.
I don't know how they would do because She-Hulk got into some compromising situations,
She
and
did.
how Disney's going to pull that off, just allude to them. So that would be interesting to see. I would like to see She-Hulk and of course Moon Knight do something good. That'd
Mm.
be cool. There she is, right there.
Man, there she is. Yeah. I
Do,
personally
do you think they'll do a? Do you think they'll do She-Hulk, current She-Hulk, or they'll do classic She-Hulk?
I think
well,
they'll do current She-Hulk, knowing them, because
yeah, maybe.
they're already talking about the writer for Miss Marvel is one of those people who's with the current trends, unfortunately.
I
So
don't
that's
think
what
they'll
I'm
do.
expecting.
I think they're gonna try to find a happy medium between it, because they. I mean, finding somebody, they'll have to spend way too much CGI to make the current She-Hulk. Um, but they'll probably go with a healthy at any size She-Hulk kind of
Maybe.
thing,
Yeah.
I maybe they'll find a big muscly gal. I don't know.
Or
But
maybe
I
they'll
don't
go
think
with that really fat comedian that everyone thinks funny, which I haven't seen her be funny once.
that's very possible.
Mhm.
But I don't think they're going to go with you know, super tall, supermodel, but green. I don't think they're going to do that. They just, they don't want to attract that toxic male gaze. I really don't feel that's going to come there. They're going to fudge it somehow, and we're going to be sitting there cursing them because I'm getting bitter at this point about
Yeah,
Marvel. I
that's a
don't give a
problem.
crap.
Yeah.
Moon Knight, I don't know what they're going to do, and we'll see.
I'm kind of afraid, because if Jessica Jones is any indication, you're going to be hating this even worse than everybody else, Chester.
Oh no, I will be, and I will rant. You know I will. That's
Yeah.
not a threat.
And I
Yeah.
have to say, I don't give two shits about Ms. Marvel.
Oh, well, not
Yeah.
really, sure, but I mean, we're just having some fun. But I would like to see it now, and it's going to bring me. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to move to another article. These things kind of string together quite well today, with the
Hmm.
obvious conversations come up. I just want to say, Comic Book Bob, you're right. I did misspeak. It was not Boba who stole it. It was his father Django. You're right, and of course, Jodo Cass came in later. Absolutely correct. And Joe says a very interesting and poignant point. I really, really want Charlie to kick the ball. I'm really rooting for him just once. Very good point,
You
sir.
know, this comes
Uh-huh.
with another conversation from Dan Slots, who says fans who hates what's going on are the fans who want Charlie to kick the ball.
Yeah, I know. How wrong is that? And speaking exactly what we've been talking about. Here we have cosmic book news with Kit Harrington. Go ahead.
Right. And Kit Harington is joining the MCU. It actually got announced a couple hours ago that he's going to actually be playing the Black Knight. So at the time of this article, they didn't know what he was going to be playing, but they announced before we got onto the show he's actually going to be the Black Knight
Hmm.
for
I
the
think it was.
Eternal.
I thought it was going to be
Oh.
new Wolverine.
Nope.
Hmm.
Okay.
That's
Hey,
kind of a.
I
were you talking about Charlie Brown kicking the ball?
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
I've always wanted him to kick Lucy.
Me too. Yeah. Just kick her instead. Yeah. But that's not Charlie. It's not what he is. Uh,
Yeah.
but the reason I mention this is because okay, that's nice information. We know what he's going to be doing, which is disappointing because the kid actually is not that bad at what he does. But he is one of those type of people who loves to bash the fans. He just loves saying horrible things to the fans and calling them all kind of names and stuff like that. And I don't know if I have that up real quick, but no, no, no. I thought I had one. No, I don't. I must not. I read it, but I didn't put it up. I can't remember who it was, but someone just in the past day or so said that, or at least an article was referencing it, where this person said that all of these were just a bunch of silly, stupid nerds loving on their comic book movies. Actually, no, it's in the
Oh,
Joker one, isn't it? It's over here.
yeah, it's a Joker
Here it
one.
is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
this one.
Oh yeah.
So it's I think, what was it, Marone, um, who said, yeah, Mark Marone,
Yeah. Mark Marone.
Moron, yeah,
Mark
and who
Mark Maron.
Maybe Mark Maron. Yeah,
Mark
that's
Maron,
probably right.
yeah, Mark
Yeah.
Maron, yeah, better.
Is he a comedian? Is he a comedian?
I have no clue who he is,
Um,
dude. Want me to click
yeah,
it? You want me to click it? I'm clicking it. I clicked it. It's been clicked. Oh, this guy.
Yep, he's a comedian.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
He,
he's saying
he should talk. He should talk. He's just an asshole. Lives in his garage.
You know. But yeah, go
yeah.
ahead, Denali. Go ahead.
No, so he's was in a podcast recently and he was saying, very bad things about the fans who are supposed to be watching his movie, and giving his paycheck because he's playing a part in the Joker, and he's saying they're nothing but oversized 7-year-olds playing their mommy's basement.
Yeah.
Paraphrasing.
And it's
Again.
like, what? We can't have a hobby. We can't have enjoy things. I mean, we all have professional lives. We all have families and kids, which we've raised, but yet we can't have a little bit of fun. We're not allowed that. Is that what he's trying to
You
say?
know, actually, that's the sad truth about SJWs and actors who actually crap on the fans or their supporters, the people that actually made the character come to life on the screen, supported it in other forms and stuff like that. Is that we have disposable income and we have the time to do what we want to do.
Sure. Yeah.
So if we have the disposable income, and if we have the time to support the product out there, that means we also have the time to sit there and actually crap on them. It goes
I
both
guess that's
ways.
true. Yeah. And let me see here. There's
Or or we can be doing what we're doing the indie revival, making our own entertainment. Just like
Ta-dum.
just like the Wolf is doing, just like the creator of Sugar Lightspeed.
oh, what a great
That's
name,
here.
Sugar Lightspeed, man. I love that. That's a great
Yeah,
name,
just
dude.
just to say that we're just fanboys, this, that, and the other. Guess what? I give me fanboys, give me fangirls, give me people willing to spend money on me, right?
Yeah, sure.
Right.
I mean, and then all the rest of them, you guys can just you guys can end up being washed up has-beens, you know.
Well,
Right. So
it's
Too
kind of
bad. Yeah.
throw. It's also a throwback to how it used to be. When I was growing up, I was into all these kind of things, and I never got out of it, even though I've grown up and had a full-on mature adult life, right? But when I was young, you're a nerd, you get picked on. And it was usually the girls pushing it. I mean, it's funny how the movies always want to show the jock guy is the one that's causing all the trouble, but he's being instigated along and pushed along by the women, right? Because that's the way it was in high school for sure. And we had to deal with this crap all the time. Oh, you stupid nerd, like in a comic book, stupid nerd, right? And then here we are in the 21st century, almost 2020, and all these things are very popular, but still we got people calling us nerds and say, "You idiot, what are you doing, wasting your life on fun things?" I mean, thanks,
Actually,
you know.
Yeah,
that's interesting that you say that, Chester, because Revenge of the Nerds and all those kind of movies in the '80s. If you really look at that movie and actually understand the story, I mean, with a critical eye, the jocks actually in every race that they had to win to get $10,000 to save the school or whatever, the jocks always won the race. The nerds always cheated.
Yeah.
well, and
Well,
these
And
these
well,
these
like, let me interject here. I was a jock. Um, I was also in the choir.
yeah,
Um, but I also had friends who were nerds. I never picked on nerds. I didn't see a need to. One of the guys I admired most was the biggest nerd I'd ever seen in my life, and he ended up with 3 doctorates by the time, he was 35.
right.
So that's a badass dude, in my opinion.
Sure.
Even though he, even though he looks like, if you can picture a nerd in your head, that's what he looked like.
all these people who are disparaging nerds today are carrying around a phone and they're using a computer of some sort.
Sure.
yeah.
And the biggest nerds in the world created the IBM and the Apple.
That's
Do
right.
you guys now want to know his name? His name. I shouldn't do a shout out, but no, you're never gonna know. His name's Damon Headman. That's as nerdy a name as you can come up with. Damon's actually kind of cool, but Headman, come on.
No, true.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
sounds like a Bond villain.
But
I
I'm
know
just,
it
I
does.
mean, I was in that kind of middle place as well. I mean, I was on the football team and I was in the band and et cetera, et cetera. So I was kind of in the middle ground, and they didn't pick on me much because I'm going to pick back, right? But
Right.
I got in a lot of scraps simply defending other people for just existing. And that's the way it was, and I don't mind that. That's just part of growing up. I get it, but I'm just saying that really, especially now that nerd culture is the hot ticket. We still got people like this that
Yeah.
they got to keep throwing these just aspersions around. Why? I mean, come on, dude.
Well, like popular culture, uh, kind of shits on quote unquote alphas,
Yeah,
for their toxic masculinity.
that's right.
Don't play football for God's sakes, you'll get brain damage. Well, a little bit
Oh
of
my
brain damage
goodness.
is kind of fun. Let me tell you.
You're you're absolutely right. They talk about toxic masculinity being a bad thing, and then they turn around saying that all this stuff is just made for little nerd children, male guys. What? Which okay, so which one do you want? And as far as this goes, grown male nerd child, is that what he's going to describe me as? Okay, I want to break this down. Grown. Okay, yes, I'm grown. I've grown up. I have a family. I got a job, and it pays well. I'm doing well. I'm responsible, and I'm taking care of people and everyone around me. I try to go about my day helping other people, being socially responsible. That's what being grown means. Male, of course, means I'm the leader of my house. I operate in society. I just happen to use the bathroom of my biology. Male is just that. It's just male. Nerd. Okay, so I'm smart. And I'm able to apply that, going back to being grown again. And there's nothing wrong with being nerd. And of course, like Slick was just saying, I also come from a jock background, halfway as well. And then you've got child. Yes, I'm a grown child. I have a childlike outlook on life. I
Mm,
enjoy life. I find the wonder and amazement still in clouds rolling by. I like the beauty of the world. And instead of thinking that things are bad and terrible,
mm,
that I haven't outgrown that there might be some honor, nobility and mysticism in the world still today, that I am looking at it through the eyes of someone who is run down and old and decrepit. So thank you. I appreciate being a grown male nerd.
Well,
sure.
and
And my wife
and
I have
just
appreciates the child side of me. That's for damn sure.
and just to,
I have a very simple answer to toxic masculinity that all these SJWs say.
Hmm.
It's very simple. The Armed Forces of the United States of America.
Hmm.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Cool.
And this guy was successful though, because he triggered us. We are triggered for
We
sure.
are triggered.
We are.
Have
The,
triggered
the
that.
the chat is definitely triggered. Hold on a second. Comic Book Bob says Charlie deserved to kick the ball at least once. Hell, even the rabbit got his tricks once. This is true. And of course, the coyote caught the roadrunner as well. So yeah, Charlie did deserve to kick that ball once, but it is sad. Anyway, he's trying to be like Bill Hicks or George Carlin. Yeah, okay. Let's see. I remember that the day when the rabbit got his tricks. Good times. Well, that expletive is Mark Maron doing in the Joker movie. Then, while disparaging comic book fans, trying to have his cake and eat it too. Well, the interesting thing about the whole this Joker movie, whatever they're calling it, it's they have been doing their best from the beginning to tell us not to watch this movie. They're saying, "Oh, it's not a comic book movie. It's not based on this. It's not what the thing you want. If you like Joker, you're not going to like it." They keep telling us to not watch this movie. So it's just, some of the, the same old thing keep continue on with these people. I don't get it. I don't know how you want to sell a movie by telling us not to watch your movie, but whatever. I'm not a
they think it's
genius,
reverse.
multi-million dollar, you know, uh, commercial later, right? I'm not that. So what do I
Right,
know?
right. They're probably trying to do reverse psychology. It's like, no. If we tell them not to watch, they'll definitely want to watch it even more. When you're like, no, we've been called names for the last year by Disney,
Oh my goodness, dude.
by
Yeah.
all of these studios. I think the reverse psychology. The studio doesn't read, what's going on, and it's gonna blow up in their face, and then they're gonna blame us again for not watching it. And now we get the perfect excuse to say, well, you told us not to watch it. It's not anything that we wanted to watch in the first place.
It's true.
Even your director said so.
Mm. I'm really glad Nick's not here today, because if Nick was here, he would have definitely wrote down multi-million dollar commercial later in Chester 2019. I'm glad he's not here.
Yes.
You,
Yeah.
you know what? Speaking of web cartoons, here's something to bring to put a circle on it.
Hmm.
What doesn't somebody create a web cartoon? There's a customer that walks in the store, and they're looking around. They're about to buy something because something looks interesting. But then you have the store owner actually make disparaging remarks to the customer, to the potential customer,
Right.
and constantly make disparaging remarks, and the customer's sitting there going like, you know what, I am not going to spend my money on you, and the customer walks out, and then the camera pulls back, and you see the word Disney on the store.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, and the chat definitely they're triggered. They have a lot of opinions on this fellow, and they're not quotable. So, yep, fair
Worked
enough.
for Gillette, right, Joe
Yeah, right.
Marone?
Talk about you.
Gillette too.
Wow.
$8 billion write-off.
You take the same cartoon and you just reskin the last panel to Gillette, Disney, whatever. It's a cartoon that will stand the test of time.
Okay.
You know what's
And will
funny
trigger
about
half
that
the
is
internet.
there was a video like last year where this guy was freaking out because he was wearing, Make America Great Again, and the guy didn't want to sell, the drugs.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy came in to get some cannabis for his girlfriend because she was having some sort of seizure or something, and he was going, just I need that, and he goes, get out, screaming at the top of his lungs. And then when the guy calmed down, he says, okay, I'll sell you that thing. He goes, that's right, do my bidding, bitch. And then all
He did, and it triggered him again, right? Yeah.
It went crazy.
Yeah. Now that was a funny one too, especially because he was trying to get the black guy in the store to be on his side, but the black guy was like, "Yeah, no, I don't want none of this, man. What are you on about?" That was a funny one, and of course the it's ma'am. That one was a good one too. But Joshua says, "Congrats on 777 subs." Well, dude, that is awesome. Thank you. I didn't know we hit that. Last I saw, we were like 75 or 76. So awesome. Thank you guys very much. And if you haven't subbed to the channel, we'd really appreciate it if you do. I know we're always calling for the share button because we're streamers and we need people here live. But definitely, if you haven't subscribed, please do hit that like button as well. We appreciate it. It helps us little by little to get more people to see it because YouTube's algorithm is all based upon how interested people are in you. The more interested people are, the more people come to see. And of course, we want more people in here, not just for us, but for all the Indiegogo and Kickstarter guys we have in the Indie Revival to have more eyes on what they do. So potentially more customers, right? We appreciate it.
And also, even if anyone's out there who wants to dislike this channel, give us a thumbs down because that helps the algorithm make us that much more interesting and better.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's really what I want. Tell everyone to dislike us. Thanks a lot, George. Thank you.
There you go.
Wonderful, George. But let's take a look at this ratio, though. We have 257,000 people have liked the Mandalorian trailer, which I did as well. So there's a like for you. And 8,600 disliked it. So, and we know why that's there. But this is nowhere near ratioed. This is positive, right? Well, let's come over here to this other trailer, which I'm going to watch right now.
Yeah,
this one is closer.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh no. I'm gonna watch it though. You guys ready for this? Lady and the Tramp. Now, hold on. Let me preface this here. Now, some of us in here are older. Some of us are not. My kids, of course, are in their early 20s, and they both seen Lady and the Tramp because I showed it to them, right? Because it's a great little movie. But how many of you guys in here have actually seen Lady and the Tramp and liked it?
I have.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
it's classic Disney animation.
It is.
Yeah.
What it is.
We are Siamese, if you please.
Yes, right. I liked it a lot, actually. I love that
We
movie
are
as a kid.
Siamese,
If you please.
please.
Yeah. Now, is this going to be anywhere near as cool? I think it's a hard thing to follow. But this is a problem with a lot of live action. They're just not as good as the originals. It's like, just go watch the originals because they're not as good. But they're going to keep pushing it. So here we go. I'm doing it. It's done. It's on.
Yeah.
All right. So we got Peoples. Okay, we have a white dude who, of course, cannot be with a white lady. It has to be with a lady of color, of course.
Let me guess. You're like the center of your people's universe, right?
That is funny. Wow.
Indeed.
It feels like Garfield already, and that's not a good thing. Bill Murray as Garfield, but yeah, they keep doing that, dude. They cannot have a white dude with a white lady anymore. I don't know, they're just so freaking broken, these people, dude. Anyway,
Why is the screen dark?
Well, you don't
I've
want
got
to
no
have any
leashes
white people. I mean, come on.
or fences.
right.
With me, every day could be an adventure.
Uh-oh.
She doesn't look real, like a real dog.
And where are we set? What is our time frame here? I guess this is the 20s, maybe.
Yeah, 20s,
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
Now, there are some iconic moments in the original Lady and the Tramp, and these movies always want to, feed off of those iconic moments, right?
Yeah.
Uh, and I haven't seen one yet. Have you?
Well, are they gonna eat a plate of spaghetti? They
Well,
have to eat a
that's
plate of
mandatory.
spaghetti.
That was mandatory. But I wonder if we're going to see Scotty and all those other things.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
those
no.
guys. And
Is
then
the
of
dog
course the
pound,
cat,
right?
which if you disparage the Siamese cat, then that might trigger something.
That's funny though. Dogs do that all the time. Oh, it's Scotty. Dogs do that all the time. Anytime my wife and I are sitting next to each other or anything like that, or in contact at all, the dogs always want to get up involved. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Dogs.
Maybe they'll have
She
a
a bear?
hunting scene, because you never know. It
Oh,
is
there it
2019.
is. There it is. Of course. And they had that great
Maybe-
song too.
And then the couple will turn the hose on them, and
Right.
just,
I think that kids though would really like this, right? I think kids are gonna just
Well-
finally Disney's gonna put something out maybe with some magic in it for kids.
Disney owns National Geographic
I know,
too.
dude.
And-
That's why I
Yep.
stopped right there, dude. Look at that. Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, National Geographic.
Wow.
I used to order National Geographic all the time, and about 6 years ago, I got rid of it because it basically became a propagandist mag to me, anyway.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
I used
yeah.
to love it.
Well, 6 year. Well, it makes sense because 6 years ago Disney bought it.
Yeah, makes
I
sense.
didn't know
Yeah.
they owned it.
So-
Neither
Man,
did
where have
I.
I been?
Yeah.
Well, actually, one of my school classmates from school, I mean, we were kind of friends, not really buddy, but he was always into photography, and he ended up joining National Geographic back in the early 90s, and he's been with them ever since. I mean,
it's a good gig if you can get it.
yeah. But he's
So
been all over the
Devilish
world
Mortal-
because of it,
makes a good point here is that this is Disney Plus. Is this Disney Plus streaming? Are they going to stream this and not even make a movie
Yes.
out of it?
Yes. It's
Oh, really?
it's
Whoa.
for streaming. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not theatrical. Huh. I
No,
didn't.
they're throwing it in here.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, does,
I'm just,
okay,
waiting,
does,
I'm just waiting for the Song of the South. That's all I'm waiting for.
Yeah, me too. That was a good movie, dude.
Yeah.
Well, now
It
hold
was
on
a great
second.
movie.
It was great. It was a really good movie. Now, hold on a second. Here's an interesting thing. Let's look at the original Lady and the Tramp trailer. What do you say? Yeah? Okay, I'm clicking it. It's
Yes.
clicked. It's done. Here it is.
okay, while we're waiting for that, does anyone actually pay attention to the fact that Disney Plus looks like Disney woman symbol? Anybody? Anybody?
No.
No, I didn't catch that. Oh, look. So we have the same scene. No, she's white. How dare they? Oh my God. All right. So okay.
Is this one set originally in London?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I missed that actor.
Right? Yeah.
Maybe New England. Could be
This
possible.
is not the original trailer.
Hey, what are you doing?
It's not. They put this weird music on top of it.
No, this is a re-release.
Yeah,
This
they
is from
recut this.
this is from the vault.
And and this stupid modern music devalues it too. This vapid,
Yeah.
useless type of pop music, it devalues the hell out of it, dude. Some of the songs from the original Lady and the Tramp are really good, really memorable. And that's something that Disney has always done well, until recently, really. They have great music, and one of the things that set me back on, like Frozen. Frozen was a mega hit for Disney, right? And all power to them. But my family, we watch all those things with the kids because that right age, and they didn't. None of my family cared for Frozen. And they much preferred Tangled, which had come out the year or so before. But it was a big, huge hit. But the thing I thought was funny about the song was it was such a regurgitated, overused melody, key pattern that we see in so much music. I was really surprised it was such a big hit, but I guess it is what it is. But I didn't think that song was as cool and great as some of the just absolutely killer music we've seen come out of Disney, classic Disney.
Well,
Oh, I mean,
it's
to tell you the truth, like
Mhm.
the first song I ever learned, besides like Itsy Bitsy Spider or one of those,
Mm.
was actually "Now I'm the King of the Swingers." Oh, I learned that song when I was 6 years old, and
Oh
I've
wow.
loved it ever since.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Good music, dude. That is not good music. I don't understand why you are. And this is a lie. Lady and the Tramp 1955 trailer number one. That is not true. This has been
What, what
plagiarized.
were you gonna what were you gonna say, Dinale?
I was going to say it's the psychological thing about people. It's like when you're listening to the radio and you hear this terrible song, but the radio keeps repeating and repeating and repeating over and over, and then you start liking it for whatever reason. It's that same psychology that they use. It's the same melody. They keep using it because it works. It just seeps
Yeah.
into the mind.
I suppose so. I suppose so. For me, maybe it's just because I'm a musician and I'm more attentive to it, maybe. But that damn theme is used so much, dude, over and over. It's so overused, dude. But it was a banging hit for them, and I don't hold anything about it. It's great, man. Good for your success, but that movie was a bit of a conundrum for me because I didn't get it. I didn't know why it was such a big deal, especially because the movie, like I said, before that with Tangled was so much better of a movie. You know what I mean?
Well, and there's some undertones there. The main character don't need no man, if you notice that,
Hmm.
and everybody's been pushing the thing that she's actually LGP, well, L,
L,
um,
yeah,
for a long time.
they have been.
And the Snow Queen actually, the actual source material, the Snow Queen wasn't a very nice person, like really not a very nice
No,
person.
not even a little.
Uh,
Yeah.
and so they really like what they do. Of course, Little Mermaid died in sea foam, um, and as most of the Hans Christian Andersen stories usually don't end very happily. I
Hmm.
think he was depressive, but
Maybe. Yeah.
but that's the thing that Disney does. They like to twist it to their own narrative, and the
Hmm.
narrative of the last, I'd say, decade has been progressively uh, moving towards a socialistic ideal.
Oh, well, that's very true, and it's also a lot about making the villain the good guy.
Yes,
They
very
do
much
that a
so.
lot. Yeah.
They do.
But
I mean, Marvel has been doing that constantly. That's all they've been doing for the last decade.
Yeah, no, it's true. Joe Monroney makes a good sarcastic comment here. He says, "Old music is hard. Too many chords and notes, and not enough backbeats. How do I know when to move?" Yeah, dude. No, the modern music is kind of
Too
sucking
much
hard, dude.
syncopation.
Too much, yeah, too
Too much
much.
syncopation. Come on,
Yeah,
what's wrong with those people?
I know. Oh, goodness gracious. But I mean, I was just sitting here while we were talking about it, just thinking about the old songs, man, from Disney. So many great things. I mean, think about Mary Poppins, right? Now, I know these are kiddie flicks, and as an adult, I don't appreciate them as much as I did when I was younger, sure. But, I mean, think about, like I said, Mary Poppins. Think about all the great songs that are in that. Think about The Lion King, which is a little more modern, but just killer music, man. They were really good at it, and they're falling on their face these days, dude.
Yeah.
Mm.
Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiree.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, it's true.
Now I gotta go back way back to something that I was saying in the fact that they're making something for kids again, and I think also going over to the Black Knight. right? The Black Knight, he rides a Pegasus,
He does. Yeah.
and I think that could be something that actually shows a strong sword wielding, a knightly character with honor and virtue, foiling the bad guys and riding a Pegasus that girls can get behind, and little kids, and enjoy the fact that he's doing that.
It's a black
Hopefully,
Pegasus, as I recall, right?
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
The Wolf. I would go and just show the kids a little movie called Clash of the Titans. You know.
Oh, that'll the
The old
original.
one, the old
movie.
one,
Yeah.
the one with,
Yeah.
with the Ray Harryhausen.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was great, man.
and all the
Ray.
skeletons, that'd scare the
Yeah.
pants off of them. No one go watch that unless you're ready for to be frightened out of your gourd.
Yeah, no, Harryhausen was amazing, dude. I actually have like a complete collection of everything he ever did, dude. It's awesome. I love Harryhausen.
I love the old
This-
Sinbad, those
Oh,
Sinbad
yeah.
movies.
Oh,
Oh,
it's really
so
good.
fun.
The
Yeah.
scorpions.
So well
Yeah,
acted
man.
too, dude.
And the Cyclops. I love that stuff.
Yeah. And it's nostalgia is great and all, but and we've had some modern things that are going to become nostalgia for us and for our kids. I mean, there's certainly been some Marvel movies that are going to stick with people. I mean, was very happy with Infinity War. I mean, that's certainly the best movie they ever made, and it's a really solid movie. The Captain America movies are great for me. These things are going to stick around too. It's not like it's all bad. We know there's some weird, twisted things seem to be coming at us, but we still have to wait and see, right? Hopefully they won't screw up Marvel as badly as they've done Star Wars. Now, of course, we do have to keep in mind that Kevin Feige and the whole MCU thing is coming over from Paramount, I believe. It was Paramount, right? And then Disney
Correct.
bought it, right? So it
Right.
had its start and its vision and focus already in place, and maybe Disney just kind of didn't mess with it too much at the beginning, and now they're starting to meddle. I'm not sure.
Well, do you think they're putting the screws to Feige, because Feige's become a company man?
He has.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, like just Chester said, they already had that planned out for like the first
They did.
5 to 10 years. So that was already set in stone, and it takes about 5 to 10 years for a studio that already has plans to kind of shift gears, because that's the nature of the beast.
Mhm.
So now you're seeing Disney proper with all these upcoming movies.
Yeah.
This is really Disney's meddling.
And Joe mentions another great song, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Great song, dude.
That's a hard one to do.
It is. Yeah.
A spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go
Go.
down.
Yeah.
The medicine go down.
Yeah. No, Mary Poppins, dude. It's the weirdest little flick, but that has got just killer songs left and right, man.
And Let's Go Fly Kite. I hadn't seen that one too, but I just sang. But I mean, like, Let's Go Fly Kite. I love that song.
Yeah. And a Tuppence, that's a good song too.
Tuppence is really poignant song.
Yeah.
Denali just said that they were making good movies except for Disney's meddling. Does that mean that what they're doing, they've ripped the mask off of Kevin Feige, and now he's saying, "I would have made a good movie if it wasn't for you meddling Disney kids"?
I just think he wants to keep working.
Yeah, so do
Yeah.
I. Yeah, but he's definitely become a corporate guy for sure. He wasn't like that in the beginning, but he's that for sure now. And I don't know that I can blame him. But we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, I think he wants to keep working. I think people up in the higher up of Disney have a certain agenda, and he's where his bread is buttered, and he's doing it. I mean, and like you said, Chester, you can kind of understand that.
Yeah.
But even though you're a sellout, just back in the 80s, everybody's a sellout, man.
Yeah, a lot of people sell out. A lot of people sell out, dude. But yeah, and Joe says the Kite song just makes you feel good all over.
It does.
It does. And a lot of Disney stuff used to do that. Now you get this stupid ukulele crap. I swear to God, I would love if I had a time machine. I go back and get rid of that dude who created the ukulele. Because damn it.
Well, interesting thing about Disney.
Well, ukuleles work for Hawaiian music, but like you put it into anything else. Come on.
Well, come on, you know what I mean. All these yuppies, these modern day yuppies, all their YouTube channels is all freaking ukulele everywhere, dude.
They don't want to learn how to play a
I-
guitar, so they learn how to play the ukulele.
Yeah.
pretty much.
An interesting thing about Disney is that they made their money on the broken family. If you look back to see all the Disney
Here we go.
things in production, no, seriously,
Yeah.
look back to all the Disney family movies.
Mhm.
There was up until The Incredibles, I believe, there wasn't a whole family. There was either a father or a mother and the kids,
Mhm.
but never a father, mother, and the kids.
Thank you for bringing the conversation down, George. You're really good at that. I appreciate it.
Aw.
But yeah. Anyway, we do have one last trailer, and then I'm going to go back over here and we'll wrap up for today. I don't know what this trailer is. I have no clue what it is. It's called Noel. Dinale, inform us, please.
So it's with Ann Kendrick.
Uh-huh.
She's playing one of the kids of Santa Claus, who tells her brother, who's is inheriting the title of Santa Claus, to take a break, and he goes missing. So now she has to find and save Christmas because that's what she does.
Okay, so it's a elf twist. Yeah, and I just click it. Okay. Okay.
Yo! Snow cone!
I hope you saved Christmas. Yeah, put some
Yes,
Christ
with my
in this
hyperactive
movie.
little reindeer.
Disney. Okay. So it's a comedy. So they're taking the elf route. All right. I don't know this actress. What has she done before?
That's Anna Kendrick.
Doesn't help.
She was in Pitch Perfect. It was a big hit
Oh,
for some reason.
Right.
It's about like acapella groups.
well,
She's done some comedies and so forth, and I guess she's done some dramas. Some people think she's hot. I think she's passing.
skinny. I
Is
think
she
she's skinny. Yeah. But no, I don't watch those musical things. My wife does not like musicals. So no, I haven't seen it.
Shame on her.
Shame. Well, not everyone's an American, DeWolf. Moving on.
My name is
Nice.
Noelle Kringle. Morning, princess.
She's a
My
little
portrait in a
thing.
pantry
dude.
underwear needs washing.
Yeah, she's time ago.
wish has been granted.
Christmas
Okay.
runs in my family.
That was,
My
when
dad
you
was
grew up with
Santa.
elves,
She's not.
And
She's
now
not
it's
Reese
my brother
Witherspoon
Nick's turn to wear
tiny,
the
but
hat.
she's below
Stocking
5'5".
full of coal if I've ever seen one.
He saved a kitten from a tree.
Some nice.
Noelle, will your brother be
Okay,
ready
I know
by
this
Christmas?
this guy.
comedian.
Of course.
He's funny.
He's a Kringle. Look what you're doing.
Yeah, that's Bill Hader, I think.
This is great.
Yeah, he's a pretty funny guy.
This is not going well at all.
Some Christmas movies actually like the Kurt Russell Santa Claus.
Yeah, but that was awesome though, dude. I mean, it was bad.
Yeah,
it was kind of a crap movie, but Kurt Russell is always awesome, dude.
Yeah, I just want them to make a sequel just because I want to watch more Kurt Russell as Santa
That's
Claus.
right. That's right. Exactly. But now this is definitely Elf. This is just instead of being a guy, it's a girl. It's what this is.
About
Yep.
now.
Well, you can't be Santa
It's,
if you're having a nervous
like, you know,
breakdown. You need to get away
Hollywood
for the
is,
weekend.
you know, inspirationally and
first time in 2,000 years, Santa has
imaginatively
disappeared.
bankrupt.
I
They
just
have
said you should
nothing
take the
left
weekend
to.
off.
Apparently,
must
they
have
in
a
their
new
brain
Santa.
trust,
Gabriel,
such
Kringle,
as it is, there's nothing left. It's empty. It's a ghost town. It's an echoing chamber of vapidity.
Interesting
Yeah,
about Bill Hader is that there's two videos online where he does an interview, a talk show interview, talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger and Tom Cruise, separate interviews. And there's a deep fake video that
Yeah.
actually morphs his head from from him to Tom Cruise and him
Yeah.
to Schwarzenegger. It's
Yeah.
really creepy.
Well, his
Really
Schwarzenegger impersonation is so, but his Tom Cruise impersonation is uncanny.
Yeah,
It really is
it's good.
Yeah. But yeah, no, and people are really worried about that tech because now you can make anyone look like anything and put words in people's mouths like that. What is that one where you can go in and Jordan Peterson? Yeah,
Yeah, Dr. Jordan Peterson.
yeah, and you can put
And
words in
it
his
sounds
mouth.
exactly like
Exactly
it
like him.
sounds exactly like
Yeah.
him.
And it's all computer program. So yeah, that's where we're going. It's where we're heading. And I'm sure the people in charge love that because now everything will be able to be brought into question. Oh no, I didn't say that. Oh no, that's not real. Conspiracy theorists. We got to get more of it. You watch.
I'm in the tech department. And
Actually,
loving
you can,
it.
we're looking at a
What about a
weird
rescue
future.
mission?
you can circumvent the
Do you
deep
mind
fake
telling me what you're
technology
doing? I'm
and
going to get my brother,
by putting
and you're coming with
copyright
me.
and trademark on
Well,
your
now.
face and voice.
Stay right where you are.
We
do
are
that.
looking for Santa Claus.
You don't
Okay,
tell
she's
anybody
with her
who
mom.
you are.
Where are you from? A little town up north.
This is
Or where you
totally
came
Elf.
from.
Sir,
Yeah, it is,
it's a
dude.
privilege
Exact same
to wear that
vibe.
suit.
It's the
Put
same.
some pants on.
She's so little.
Except
naughty.
she's not as funny as
48 hours
what's his name?
This could
Will
be the
Ferrell.
perfect
Well, the teacher
time
is
to start
female,
an online delivery
Which is pretty
platform.
bad
Gotta
because Will
find
Ferrell's
Santa.
really unfunny.
For thousands of years,
I don't know,
we've
there's
jingled
some
bells and
I love
delivered
He has
toys,
moments.
and we must
Yeah,
make
you're
sure
right.
nothing changes that.
I don't know.
Do you have any ice in this tin? Oh, hello. I like your.
This is like I literally am not interested at all. At least the Elf trailer, I was like, "Oh, okay, maybe, right?
pants. They're jolly. They're
There's hardly
yoga
anything I
pants,
see
like
lately that
yours.
I'm interested
These are
in
my yogurt
out of
pants.
Hollywood.
No, yoga.
Like hardly
pants.
anything.
I love yogurt
being a
pants.
Nice.
toxic man, you would not understand that.
Well,
Now
I
we're
used to be
facing
a big
reindeer.
cinephile, but I just like I feel sometimes like
The weekend. Nobody listens to me.
Don't do that.
it's that South
Please.
Park when not Kyle Stan when he thinks everything is shit. That's kind of how I feel lately. I'm getting to be an old.
Everybody's vomiting.
Yes,
Everybody's-
I'm getting to be an old man out on my lawn, going, get off my fucking lawn.
Right? No. Yeah, no. This is true. I'm doing my best because I'm with the wolf on this 100%. I'm doing my best to stay positive because I don't want to feel that way. I want to enjoy the things I enjoy. But they're making it hard. Especially, one of the things they do that's a huge mistake is women have to approach comedy from a different point of view. They have to come at it differently, but they keep demanding that they can do comedy just like a man would do it, right? And it's just not funny. I haven't heard a single thing in here that is chuckable. It's not even chuckable. Chuckable.
Chuckleable.
Chuckleable. Thank you. I got caught there. But you know what I mean? There's nothing funny about it. And it's like, you need to go back and, watch Carol Burnett and, see how she went about it, right? There's a way to be funny, or even Roseanne Barr, but this is not how you do this. This is not funny at all. It's not even cute. It's just stupid. Whatever.
Mm-hmm. Hey, be filled with wonder and touched by peace.
I'm trying, dude. I'm trying. But I love that Kurt Russell Santa Claus movie. That was fun.
That's right. Kurt Russell needs to meet Christ in the sequel. That'd be awesome.
It would be.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Pete's
Can you imagine?
That's the
Dragon.
thing.
Can you imagine
I'm-
that happening where they have Santa Claus meet Christ, like in some way or another, and then he actually kneels down before
Mhm.
Christ?
Oh yes.
Actually, so that you can see the correlation. I mean, that would never happen, ever.
Well, I don't know.
Well,
Why
well,
not?
that's
I mean,
the Narnia
especially if you go like the St.
version of
Nicholas
Christ.
version
Not
instead of the Odin version. Why not?
Well, and there you go. Just keep him in a red suit.
Right, yeah.
I like the red suit.
Well, I mean, the Santa Claus has evolved over time, right? And there's certainly the Catholic Church, as they always do. They embrace things, and you could say they steal things or whatever. I'm not going to get into that conversation. But the St. Nicholas thing, you could definitely do the Jesus thing.
here.
Why not? I think that would be cool.
Oh, listen, everybody, I have to point out something about Santa Claus
Huh.
that a lot of you have missed.
I don't think
Is
so,
that
but go
the
ahead.
Santa Claus that, no, I'm telling you this as fact because I worked for Coca-Cola.
Uh-huh.
Santa Claus, the Santa Claus that we know today, was was an image development by Coca-Cola Company.
Sure, we know that.
Yeah,
get that,
that's
dude.
everybody knows that.
We
I
get
mean,
it.
but I mean, I have seen like paintings of of Santa kneeling at the manger, and I know it's not factual or anything to biblical or anything, but there's still something that touches my heart because
Sure.
Santa does represent the spirit of giving at
Yeah.
Christmas, and
I agree.
which is embodied by Christ's sacrifice of giving to all of us if you're Christian,
Sure.
and so there is a correlation that sometimes is completely missed, especially in today's media. They focus on, trying to sell a holiday property so they can get some money out of it, but they don't remember where it came from, its roots. And again, like a Christmas tree is a pagan thing, but who the heck cares? Whatever. I mean, as long as it has the representation and brings a little bit of calm and peace to the earth for just a little while, I'll take it. Sorry, rant over.
Oh, no, no, that's fine. The night Jesus met Santa Claus. There we go.
Is that a
Wait a
movie or a
second. We showed
cartoon?
all these trailers, and now you want to give us a copyright strike?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about trying to bring Jesus into the show. You can't do that and not
Why
get a strike on
can't
YouTube.
I?
Jesus isn't
Because,
copyrighted.
Yeah.
well, yeah, but he's frowned upon by me.
He's in public domain. I
Yeah.
tell you.
I don't have a problem with
He's
Jesus, the
definitely in the
wolf.
public
I'm
domain.
fine with the man. But thank you very much, Joe. But anyway, let me come back over the other side. But it's just kind of the typical nonsense we keep seeing over and over and over, right? But oh, don't do that. I did a bad thing. Okay, no one saw that. Don't pay attention.
I didn't. Was there
No one saw
boobies?
it.
I didn't see anything.
No, no, I flashed the Hangouts link,
You,
dude.
you
He
flashed?
flashed.
Are you naked? It's Chester.
No, I flashed the Google Hangouts
This has gone
link.
downhill.
Oh, I
Different
see.
kind of link, dude. God.
Wait a minute. Jesus copyright. Let's see. Life plus 75 years. That would make it. Yeah, he's out of copyright.
Pretty much, I'd say so. Yeah, but no, I agree. I never really thought about that before, but having Jesus and Santa Claus together makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. There's all kind of analogies and metaphors and all kind of stuff you can do with that. Why not? But whatever. We know what they're doing with stuff, and we get what you're saying about Coca-Cola, of course. But even with that, George, for my childhood at least, Santa Claus was a symbol of good things. It was a wholesome thing. And one of the things we're seeing with these modern peoples is they just unwholesomely everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they
And
like to twist. They like to deconstruct stuff. They like to take their perspective and warp it into something wholly different than what it should be. I would have to say, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe in my staunch morality that I'm missing the moral relativity.
there you go. But if you guys want to go see a much lesser version of the so-so movie that was called Elf, you can go watch Noel because that's what it looks like. Yeah, no, I'm not interested. Pass. The last fun Santa movie I saw was the Kurt Russell one, and that was That was a ton of fun. If you want to see Kurt Russell doing blues as Santa Claus in a prison cell, watch that movie. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
I've been waiting for them to release it on. I'm gonna buy that one.
It's a
I
fun one,
like
dude.
that one.
Yeah.
It's right there with like Christmas Vacation for me.
No, it's a fun movie. It's
Well,
not the greatest movie, of course not. But Kurt Russell just
mhm.
brings Kurt Russellness to everything.
That's right.
Yeah,
Kurt Russellness. That's what we need.
Did anyone
All men need Kurt Russellness. I'm
that's
telling
true.
you.
Hey,
I
John.
agree.
did anyone like Vince Claus? Or not Vince Claus.
Nah,
I forget what Fred Claus.
The one with Vince
Vince Vaughn.
Vince
yeah,
Vaughn.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not a big
it
Vince
was,
Vaughn fan.
I kind of liked it.
I liked him way back in Swingers, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just is. He always comes off to me like that Jackass guy, and I mean the TV show, the MTV show Jackass guy.
does. He
He,
does.
it's like no, 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 thank you.
Like a fat version of
A little
what's
bit
his name?
chubbier, yeah. Although I have to say, Vince Vaughn is in a movie, something prison cell, something or another. It's about a prison and him having to get in to get someone out. But that is an awesome movie. So I mean, he can do good stuff. I wish I can remember the name of that flick because that's a good one. You should check that out. But Vince Vaughn is in a movie recently that it was a pretty low budget flick too, but it's really well done, dude. So anyway, We're definitely
up.
to the end of the show. I've been doing my best here
Oh,
because I've been nursing a serious hangover here, guys.
yeah.
And
Well,
yeah, I want to go to bed, please.
there
Way too
was
much
one more
sake.
news. There was one
Yeah.
more news that you didn't go over, which was Hasbro bought
Hasbro?
Almost.
yeah, Hasbro broke not broke, but bought Death Row Records.
Mhm.
So
Really?
your guys thought yes.
What?
Yes. They bought
What?
yes.
Yeah.
So the toy company bought all the songs of Dr. Dre's
Ring ding dong. A ring a ding 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 dong.
yeah, all the Death Records
Tupac,
label.
Peppa Pig,
Yep.
and Tupac will
So
be together in the
well,
future.
you know what that means. He-Man's gonna have all the rap songs because
All
Hasbro
right.
owns it.
Oh my.
Yeah, I showed it.
No,
I've shown
I
it to
mean,
him. Yeah,
I'm actually hearing that He-Man's going to be good.
maybe
I hope so.
the He-Men.
Have you guys seen Monopoly for Socialists?
Yeah, I
yes.
had that up
Yes.
there too. I didn't get to it because
Lovely.
I've been trying not to,
Come on, let's do it. Let's do it.
not
I bought
to.
the Monopoly for millennials. I bought it just because of spite.
Monopoly socialism melts the internet.
That's right.
You may have heard rumors of monopoly socialism echoing in the halls of Twitterverse this week. Well, folks, it's no joke. I have no clue what this is. Why don't you tell us what this is, Slick?
Well, the Monopoly for Socialists, it's a parody of the game. Basically, the idea is that it switches the game from being capitalist to a socialist paradigm, and so you end up, giving your money away, and like they take stuff from you. I mean, it's whoever's over at Hasbro currently, at least in the conceptualization, the marketing.
Mm.
I think they're a bit red pilled.
You
Oh,
think?
good. I got to buy one.
All right. Well, there you go.
And on Twitter, lots of people were upset that they made that. So there you go.
Okay. All right. Well, the socialists are the ones usually screaming, so I guess they don't like being called out for what they are. But Devilish Boredom says something. He said a few funny things actually in here. But he says, "I want the death row figure of a buildable Suge Knight."
I want a Lego Suge Knight. That would be awesome.
That would be cool.
Hanging vanilla ice out a window. That would be great.
Yeah. All right, guys. So I'm calling it because man, I think I've
Go
done a
take
good
a
job going this far, dude. Because boy, I got absolutely wrecked last night, and it's still on me hard. I don't know why I
go
did.
drink some water and get a cold compress. You'll be all right.
Don't forget, you got a show in 12 hours.
I know, dude. I know. I have it on the calendar. I'll be fine. No problem. I'm going to take a nap. That's what I'm going to do. An old man nap.
Who's the guest? We have a guest?
No, this is IndieCom TV, and we do have a guest, I believe.
We have a couple.
Awesome. Why don't you go ahead and promote that?
We have two small press publishers, David Whalen and I forget the other guy's name. And Vinny Tartamella is also going to come on. He may be late, but he will try to come on because he was one of the guys that was scheduled for last week. And his book, City of Venus, is actually, you know what, talking about it on a few shows has got it close to almost 10K. Remember when we started?
Vinny's got skills, man.
Yeah, it was like 5K, and we've been talking about it, and I've been pushing it a little bit here and there, so it's actually done really well.
Awesome. And I will be there.
Awesome.
And that's going to be 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is Coffee Akihabara. And we will be on tonight and or in your morning. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. It's a good new show. Definitely come check it out. But other than that, guys, we're definitely wrapping up. Thank you very much for coming in. We appreciate you guys, of course, every day. Keep in mind that tomorrow is TFT, and we are doing the CIA conspiracy theories. That should be a lot of fun. So definitely come over for that. And yeah, Dinale, take us out of here, man.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us for FanSpeak. Join us tomorrow for TFT at 8 p.m. Eastern. We have a lot of great projects going on. Support them all. I have the Immortal Mask. The email address is down in the description. Just send me an email to join the newsletter. You will be joined. But as always, your perception shapes your reality, so always make it a good one.
Namaste.
Say.
Gesundheit.
Later days, Al.
Later, guys.